Hello,
Sorry?
Marina. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Right now, Greece is a little bit problematic.
I can.
You know,
I can.
we do 100 things all together, so
I'd
that's
like to
the
know
thing.
what you're working on at the moment. What you're involved on.
Okay. On the moment, the most important things everybody is doing in Greece is like trying to get in touch with their inner psychology of bankruptcy and find a way to survive the next years.
And I'm very interested to know how this big and huge crisis, which is also affecting Italy, is somehow changing the art and cultural worlds in your country.
First of all, let's be honest, it develops a certain kind of hatery for the very rich collectors, like, these plants that all of a sudden go and grow in the wall, because we have 3 or 4 of the most strong collectors in the world, in Greece.
Yeah.
And they happily give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 million euros to Whitechapel, Tate Modern, New Museum, and nothing to Athens. Everybody can give their money where they are. But when your country, when the contemporary art in your country is collapsing, it's sort of vulgar. People understand that. If before they were like excited about having these strong collectors and they wanted to be in their yard, let's say in their courtyard, and we played this emperor, the invisible clothes of the emperor kind of game. Now nobody wants to see them in front of them. The one thing that is good of the crisis that takes the veil away from everything. It's like all of a sudden Mr. Death came and took out the blanket of and now everything is clear. Then of course there is a appeal from people to collaborate like never before. Because Greeks, our temperament, which is like half Mediterranean, Balkan, Eastern, we have a problem to collaborate. And now, like ever before, you see people collaborating in making like independent situations. I wouldn't say that we have more artistic production, that it's something that everybody wants to hear, that when you're in misery, the artists are doing more things, because this is like a lie. Artists are doing a lot of things anyway. It's just, or even now they might do less because they have to work like barmen or whatever, but it's more obvious because people are turning to see what is happening in every corner. So in that sense, I think it's better. Of course, we have no Ministry of Culture whatsoever. We had a change in government, which is the lethal government for culture. It's the worst it can happen. And so it's like non-existing. The other day the Minister of Culture said publicly in People of Culture, well, now you have to understand that Santa Claus is not coming back. So it's a man that thinks that sponsoring the culture means giving presents. I think there will be a culture from under. Not under meaning like dark under, but under in the sense of Herbert Reed, like from under it will become the mainstream. Yeah. But there are many bad things, because the thing is that we don't know, okay, we have a severe crisis, it will be for 5 years. I know it's spreading all over Europe, but we are sort of also a country of record in corruption, like everybody was corrupted, including ourselves without knowing. So there is a new scandal uncovered every day. And on the other hand, is that we are a country that, apart from our beautiful landscape, we don't have anything else to sell, like heavy industry.
How do artists and curators and critics manage to keep working?
They keep working without money, They keep working with one sustaining the other, thinking that they're not going to be paying the rent. I keep having some phone calls from important institutions like, do you have something to send us, something Greek with misery? And that's sort of funny in a way, because of course, why not? Plenty. But it's like, you remember the film Enjoy Poverty? It's a great period to sell our misery, because now the hype thing for Western institutions is to have a show of Greeks. So some people are doing this in a good way. I don't disagree with that necessarily. I mean, if this can be a product, why not? Everybody's trying. It's trying without very ephemeral stuff. Nobody knows, I think, from my colleagues, artists and curators, what the future will be in a year. Nobody's programming things more than a year ahead.
And how it is working with schools and colleges and universities? Maybe is it possible to teach there? Maybe is it more simple?
Because the corruptive monster in Greece is the public sector. So unfortunately, whatever belongs to the public sector doesn't collaborate. There is a lot of conferences happening between independent, but no colleges and studies and education. I think most, you see events, ephemeral events of a very big quality. Like there is this art center camp that we collaborate as well as Kunsthalle Athena, again a private wheel. There is artist-run spaces. This is I think the people that are going to save culture in Athens now.
Can you be more specific about these people, I mean, and also these places that are now running art and culture in Athens? Yes.
Camp is a place like that. I mean, you can see in the internet, I mean, my position is to speak more of Kunsthalle Athena and not camp, but private wheel of two brothers, and it's in Central, and because very often in Greece we have this situation of bars and cultural centers opening, but then the bar gets over the cultural center, so they're called cultural centers, but they're basically bars. They balance to have this, they manage to have this balance very well. I think they make their money through a small bar, but art and entertainment and bar are very quite separate, as they should be. What I'm trying to say is that the contemporary art is not just for the bar, and they have a quite interesting program, not in all the senses, more local, but they have how can I say, they are very open to collaborate, and they are very important to the Greek art scene, because they are not so internationally known, but they're helping a lot the artists here. And they're great, and they do conferences. They have a big building, and I think they survive through their drinks they sell and through some sponsoring of private. Then there are, for example, the Athens Biennial. These curators, that it's also a private will, and they are struggling to do the new edition, but we don't know how and when. They have a small building near our building in Kunsthalle Athena, a small shop that is given to us by the same owner, and they do occasionally also conferences and events for, then there are like small galleries, but not absolutely commercial galleries, like About Gallery, which is again seen and do an interdisciplinary program between music and art, which is fantastic. The funny thing is that in Athens, the music scene is also very quite alive. So there are very few teams that they do live concerts of independent rock, but these coexist with it's the same people, coexist with the contemporary art. This keeps alive culture in a sense. So apart from this and Kunsthalle Athena, there is also few commercial galleries that they help a lot, like the Breeder Gallery. They help a lot Greek artists and some international, but they're one of the few commercial galleries to help institutions like Kunsthalle and without asking something back. And then the funny thing is that important galleries and institutions from abroad are also helping us. For example, in one of our main supporters for Kunsthalle and also South Magazine is Sadie Cole's gallery, in a very famous London gallery, because they understand very well the problem of, of the situation in Greece, or Kunsthalle Zurich, or Kunsthalle Lisboa, which is a smaller institution, but they're collaborating. Also, Serralves Museum, Ricardo Nicolau. We have a lot of help of the international scene.